This segment's about comply. All these athletes that want to tell everybody how oppressed they are and how they're being hunted by the police department, you guys haven't been black in America since you're 12, since somebody realized you were an athlete, okay? There's a whole other segment of the black population who has all these problems that you think you have, okay? You're not making it any better doing what you're doing. You are making them scared to be asked to be stopped by a police officer, and you're getting them to not wanting to comply. Okay, a police officer doesn't have a choice. If you don't comply, they have to enforce the law. Make them comply. Good friend of mine, and for just context in this story, he happens to be black. We've been friends for decades. One day I told him to go get the truck and I'll meet you. I'm going to jump in the car and we're going to go to a catering event. He said, wait a minute, I got to go get my driver's license. I said, why? We're only going like on the other side of the town. And he said to me, BWD. I said, what the hell is BWD? He said, driving while black. So he told me about how afraid he is when he's stopped, how he had to talk with his son about make sure you keep your hands on the wheel. Don't make any moves. You know he's going to ask you for your license and registration. Don't move. Ask him when he says license and registration, you want to say to him, officer, my registration's in my console. May I get it? Do not get it until he says yes. Once he says yes and you get it, he's going to relax. When he asks for your license, say, officer, the license is in my back pocket or my purse. May I get it? He will say yes. You will then go get it. That will make this whole thing go so much better. Okay? I, in my youth, had been stopped at least 100 times, had at least maybe 50 tickets. Okay, but I never got stopped and worried about getting dead. When I heard what he had to say, I thought, well, that's just terrible. Okay, but you have to understand how policing works. Let me just give you some off-the-wall kind of thing. There's a street in Detroit. Last night, there was a shooting. Now tonight, here comes a car at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning going really slow. Police officer is going to stop that car. Now, unfortunately, maybe that's just somebody getting home from work at nights. Okay? So what I'd like to see happen is, I keep hearing people say stop and frisk. That's not what it is. It's called stop, question, and frisk. So you get stopped, you get questioned. When he realizes you're not the bad guy, he's going to let you go. Don't look for a problem where there's not a problem. Comply. Now, I think what they don't do now that I would love to see them do is once I've determined that you're not the bad guy, I will go back to the car and put into my database, here's the car, here's the person, here's the wife, here's the kids, here's the license plate, and that these are good people. Then maybe we can get to a situation where you won't be afraid to talk to the police officer, and he will ask you at some point, what can I do to help you with the crime and the problems in your neighborhood? Don't ignore him. Tell him what you need. Maybe he can help. We have got to get people talking to the police department, and we need people to stop blaming the police department for everything. LeBron James, you said you're being hunted in America. That's absolute BS. Nobody's hunting black people. Police department doesn't do that. Okay? There are unfortunate accidents and unfortunate, there's what, 900,000 police officers? Chances are there's going to be a couple bad ones. Okay? Stop saying things that make people not want to comply. If you comply, there is no problem. You don't comply, there's going to be a problem.